Just got off with the funnies, didn't we, at the Four-Wheel Drive podcast powered by Tyrepower. Music by the Southern River Band. Nothing funny about Let It Ride. A good tune on the way in. That's been a solid stayer for us. Let It Ride by the Southern River Band.
It has.
That has been a very, very solid stay. The Four-Wheel Drive podcast on Instagram. Get over, send us a message, get involved. Our episodes are on BackChat's YouTube. Patrons, thank you for your support. Patreon.com/the Four-Wheel Drive podcast if you want to check out any of the extra stuff we give out. And merch, voice messages, and the Ultimate Four-Wheel Drive, which I am looking forward to a lot today, Ronnie. I've got a bit of insight from Jaden that it is quite an impressive vehicle that we'll be looking at.
Cool. I'll have to take your word for it because I don't know. What's happening?
No, there's no, you're not getting stitched up. Could you please just let us know the website to visit to get all that across?
Oh, well, yeah, BackChat Studios.
No, wrong.
Oh,
hang on, what are we talking about?
Come on. BackChat.
Oh, the Four Drive pod.com.au.
That's the one.
Ultimate Four Drive. Fill everything out. You work it out. Just jump on there.
Nice. Well done. Good save, mate. That's all right. You're not. That's not your job. This podcast. Your job is the expert. The stuff that I can't answer for people. I'm going to ask the silly questions. That's how this thing started. Do you remember that way back then?
Yeah, that's quite a while ago, isn't it?
It was, and I'm still nowhere near. I'm actually probably more of a novice than I was back then. But
You just got another car that you don't know yet.
Yeah, true. Yeah, true.
Which is exciting.
But I think like those, I was having to think about those early episodes way back when we had like a genuine like beach v bush. Or like, desert touring or
it's very structured and rigid.
It was, yeah. Whereas now we just talk a lot of smack.
Yeah. What's better?
I know, this kind of feels more fun. But I reckon what's better for the listener?
Yeah. Well, last week was a hoot, so
yeah, that was good fun. What was last week?
I can't remember.
Oh, remember the
I just remember it was funny.
The GWM, the tank.
Oh, yeah.
Doing
wheelies, doing endos.
Oh, yeah, they fixed that, by the way, apparently.
Oh, have they?
Yeah,
Really?
some tank owners were not happy.
Oh, that we said that?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, tankies.
Oh, I'm just going by what was
put in front of us.
presented.
Yeah.
Just information.
I saw a motorbike do that the other day.
Up on the front wheel.
Yeah, come up to a set of lights up on the front wheel, and I was like, stack it. It was a very slow one,
Yeah,
so
right.
it wouldn't hurt, but it's just like...
Were they like dangerously riding or?
No. It was just showing off.
Oh,
yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was actually quite impressive, but, you always have that like, it'd be funny if he did.
Yeah. You know what? I do not, this is not at all, it's probably a little bit risky going there because I'm not saying it's a cool thing or it shouldn't, it's illegal, shouldn't be happening, but unless they're registered, but you can't be doing it on the streets anyway.
Maybe it was a tank motorbike.
Well, it was the opposite because it was on the back wheel, but there's a bit of a movement in America like around those bike gangs and they fang around on dirt bikes through the streets and they almost take over. But there's just so many on the road that you almost can't stop them anyway. And I don't know if they're, probably unregistered, whatever. Or, it's just dirt bikes on the street and all they do is just pop monos and do. But it's pretty impressive stuff what some of these blokes are doing on the bikes.
Quite
and
acrobatic.
Females, it is like a genuine art. Not saying it's the right thing to do.
No.
Something popped up the other day and I just had a quick look at it and I was like, that must be difficult.
Yeah.
It's impressive.
Well, yeah, just that skill level's pretty heightened.
Yeah.
They just need to do it somewhere where...
Safe, much safer than where
they could probably
doing
get paid to do that stuff, like at a stunt thing.
I used to go to the Krusty Demons all the time.
Yeah, I've never been. I want to mind seeing that.
Are they still a thing?
Yeah, it's still a thing.
Well, Nitro Circus, maybe?
Yeah, I think so.
I don't know. Get out in the metal militia gear.
Yeah,
those are the days.
Or drive a monster truck.
Yeah, I used to love them too. Jaden would have been a bigger fan of metal militia gear in
Metal
Newman.
Militia. Yeah, they were big in Newman.
Yeah.
They were big in Newman. They weren't big on me, but they were big in Newman.
Anyway,
Krusty Demons as
I don't
well.
condone that. Yeah, Krusty Demons is huge.
Still a thing, by the way.
They are?
Yeah,
Oh,
still
okay.
a thing. Still
Cool.
a thing.
Yeah, well, there you go. We can go, Ronnie.
All right, when we go?
Yeah, whenever they come to Perth next. Let's get straight into a tough dog tip of the week. Get this thing rolling.
Oh, I actually had one before I came here, and I actually totally forgot.
Okay.
So let's come up with it.
What do I need?
You put me on the spot
What
here.
I did there, yeah. I was getting further and further away.
It happens every week, Ronnie.
Well, no, I
he's been good the
actually
last two.
prepared myself this time, and actually I had a good one.
Damn.
So,
Do you want to circle back to it?
no, I'll just come up with something else.
Because the other segment, the next one I'll go to is you as well. So
I think I think what people need to understand with four-wheel drives and modifying a car in particular is warranty. Your new car warranty. It's a lot more tricky than what you think. I'm going to bring up one car and then it'll kind of lay the foundation for perhaps a topic later on. But a Y62, if you have a Y62, the front end is only rated to, I think it's like 200 and something kilos. So if you put a bull bar on it, I know at least when ARB put a bull bar on it, they actually remove other things to make it light enough. So you're like just within like a couple of, it's not much, eh? So if you just put a couple of accessories on it, like lights, and you can't put a winch in it. You can't put a winch on it because then you're over what it's rated to on the front. So
what part of the car is rated to 200 kilos?
The front axle.
Right. Oh, okay. Sorry, the front axle. Yeah.
The front axle, yeah. So if something was to happen, then your warranty doesn't cover it. Of course, you could increase the suspension on front with some tough dog suspension.
Yep.
But if something goes wrong, then I don't think the new car warranty is going to cover it because you've changed the suspension and there's the weight on the front.
Right.
So it's a bit of a sticky thing. We're looking into it at the moment. There's so many things. That's just one. That's just the tip of the iceberg.
Yeah, okay.
You wait till I open up the Mitsubishi bag and the Isuzu.
Right.
It's a mess.
So what sent you down this path?
Just I like to look around at certain things, and then I'm always like, well, what else is out there with this kind of situation?
Yeah.
And then you just got to look through it, and we're still digging up heaps more stuff.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm in a bit of an interesting spot with that too, because obviously wanting to do engine work to my car, will that void some of my warranty?
Yes.
For parts that go, if something happens within that engine bay, could it then fall on me because I've changed things in the engine?
It'll be isolated to the engine bay.
Yep.
So if you cook your engine, if you shoot a piston, something like that, anything catastrophic in that engine bay, you won't have your warranty. So a lot of people will actually remap the car before they take it in for a warranty claim. It's risky.
Like back to stock?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, some people will do that. But the thing is, if your engine does shit the tin, you're not going to be able to revert it anyway.
Yeah.
Because that's dead. The system will leave some kind of print of what's happened.
Yeah.
And it's a bit dodgy doing it that way anyway. But just be aware that, look, both ways can be a bit dodgy. That's the thing. So just be aware when you do modify your car, be aware.
Yeah, okay.
You are likely not covered by warranty with a new car in a specific area of what you change, or if it affects another area. It doesn't matter if they need to prove that you did, you still have to prove that it isn't the factor. And depending on who you work with and if you're being reasonable.
Yeah.
So just be aware.
Yep, that's a good call. I honestly just started doing stuff and didn't even think about it, and started ordering and just. Honestly, I had this moment a few nights ago. I was like, oh, my warranty's probably a bit cooked here. Just like not, I don't expect anything to go wrong, but like, I honestly didn't even think about it as I was putting in my orders for different bits and pieces.
Yes, it's definitely worth thinking of.
Yeah.
So my 2.8 is
late now for me, but
my 2.8 isn't tuned, and it's not tuned for that reason because it's the first of that kind.
That's good by you. Good thinking.
Yeah, and it has enough. It's got enough oomph anyway.
Yeah.
But the thing is, when it comes to like a diesel filter, if you put a diesel filter in your car, like a secondary one, and as long as it's before the other filter, you are helping your engine. And a lot of people are worried about the new car warranty if they do that. But the thing is, as long as they put it in front of the factory filter, I mean, from a legal standpoint, you are making the car better.
Yep.
You're protecting it more. So if anything happened, unless it's to do with a filter, like cavitating or it's starvation fuel or whatever, you should be fine. Because the thing is, your new car warranty is not covered if you get dirty fuel. And your insurance company will likely not cover you if you have dirty fuel. So if dirty fuel gets into your engine and your engine shits the tin, well, you're kind of screwed. So therefore, a secondary fuel filter is actually a really good idea.
Yeah, okay. Yep.
So that'll be the first thing that I would do to any car, even around the city, because I have had bad fuel before in the city.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's a good point. I like it. That's that is a genuine tough dog tip of the week. Was that the original one you came prepared for?
No.
Was that came to you? Okay.
No.
I'm looking forward to next week then. Because that was a good one. See what you actually prepared for. I can only imagine it'd be better.
Yeah, I still can't think of it. I'll think of it as I'm walking out.
Yeah, but don't even if you think of it throughout this podcast, do not bring it up. Save that.
I won't.
Save that stuff. I'm going to flick to you again.
I'll forget it next week again.
You've got your law
Oh, yes.
that you've organically brought into this show.
Aha.
I think he has a lot of fun doing it. So.
Yeah. Well, no, he loves it, and that's what makes it good.
Speaking of organic, we're going to go organic on this law.
Oh,
Yeah, it's like great segue.
I
Didn't even know.
I did not know about that.
All right. I think a lot of people might be aware of this. Tony Gallardi.
Spudshed, yeah.
Spud King.
Yeah,
Potato
Spud
King.
Yep.
I've met him.
Yeah. So he ran into
Ripping
I
handshake.
think he might have ran into this one a little bit, but in a different way. But so there is the great potato limit. You have to have like an actual license to carry or possess more than 50 kilos of potatoes. If you are found with more than 50 kilos of potatoes, you could get charged.
So there's like a bag out limit on potatoes.
Yeah. And offenders face fines of $2,000 for the first offence. So things can get a bit more serious.
So I wonder where the case of the person who didn't have a license carrying over 50 kilos of potatoes is, because obviously it's happened for them to create a law.
Well, yeah, I don't know why they put that law in, but
Which state?
that's WA.
It's Western Australia.
Yeah, but it was abolished in 2016.
2021.
2016 is the year.
I've got what?
2021.
I've got 2021 in front of me. Apparently, it was to do with the deregulation of the potato industry in 2016.
Okay. Deregulated by the potato industry.
What's the deregulation of the potato industry?
Not sure, mate. Not sure.
Interesting.
I'm going to go home and check how many potatoes I've got in the
You do not have 50 kilos of potatoes. I mean, with
Mate,
your new
I
79,
need-
you could carry it.
I need carbohydrates to fuel the body.
Yeah, you don't want to cramp.
But if you
that didn't
towed
work.
a 3.5 ton caravan with a Prado, you probably couldn't have on your front seat.
What's heavier, 50 kilos of potatoes or 50 kilos of feathers?
Really? We're going to do this here?
But steel's heavier than feathers. You seen that? No?
What? Sorry?
You haven't seen that?
Oh, no.
I saw this video of this,
Hopefully I
like,
have.
it's like this Irish bloke, and he's like, they're like, oh, what's heavier, like 50 kilos of steel or 50 kilos of, a kilo of steel or a kilo of feathers? And he's
Yeah.
like, steel.
Yeah,
And then
that's I have said that's why I said it.
And then
'cause
they're like, yeah.
a ton of bricks or a ton of feathers. What weighs more?
I know what I'd rather be hit by.
Would it still be?
Would it still? Yeah.
Well, the mass of it is so freaking... Imagine like a ton of feathers.
Yeah.
We're not talking compressed feathers, are we?
Oh, there's just a ton of them, mate. Hitting
Tons
you.
a ton.
Yeah, but it'd
must
be
be-
spread out.
It'd have to
Yeah,
be
it's a good
compressed.
point. It's a good point from Ronnie.
Anyway, let's not go there. That's going to be a
is-
slippery slope, that one, too.
Is this a 79 and a bus
Terrible
situation we
show.
got happening here?
Oh,
Well,
that rattled you, Duggo.
What's that one?
The bus.
Oh, yeah, that did rattle me. Yeah. Yeah, that's not quite as serious, this one.
Have you seen those balloon tanks?
Makes a lot more
They
sense
got
to
like
me.
big balloon wheels. You seen those?
The balloon, what, sorry?
They got these massive like balloon, like almost like a balloon wheel. There's massive rubber inflated wheels
On,
on like some old like military equipment, like old tanks.
oh, no.
I think they made them in the 1950s, 1960s, maybe 70s. But there's a dude, he lays on the ground, an engineer, and this thing runs over him. It's like, I don't know, 10-ton vehicle or
Yeah.
something. But he's fine because
right.
it just spreads the load.
Yeah, okay. No,
Yeah.
I haven't seen that.
I've seen that. Yeah.
We don't have any...
That's my feather
I
theory.
know.
No, that's okay.
I didn't want you to look at yourself because you'd
I
spend the whole
I
pod
was
just staring at
hopefully this
yourself.
was filming. That's
Yeah,
fine.
no, we're all good.
No, I haven't seen that. I thought maybe you were going to get up. Anyway, let's keep this show rolling. On the radar, Jaden, this is your stuff, so I'm going to get you to bring it in. We're going to Queensland again.
It's always Queensland or Victoria.
Yeah, copped it a bit.
Yeah, Eastern Staters, mate. Article by Damien, I hope I'm saying this right, Smye, on drive.com.au said there's a Queensland-led study that's calling for a four-wheel drive beach ban after apparently it's causing widespread damage to the environment. So the study found that four-wheel drives have caused unequivocal, serious and widespread damage to coastal dunes, with national park beaches being hit the hardest, pummeled to death by recreational off-roaders. And this was by the University of the Sunshine Coast, which is in Queensland, obviously, Sunshine Coast. And it recommended that there's four-wheel drives have a no-go zones in national parks and beaches due to the damage that they cause.
So that's what they're suggesting.
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay.
So the study found that a single vehicle has the potential to cause, or does cause, rapid, significant harm to ecosystems that lasts decades. Says there's no safe level for the number of vehicles that are able to prevent damage to beach ecosystems. So I thought that was a good article by Damien. Shout out to him. But I thought that was just an interesting topic. What are your thoughts on a four-wheel drive beach ban?
I question what stats they've cherry-picked to come up with that and the situation of it. Like, have they spread the study out? What that cyclone that just hit before, how much damage did that do?
Yeah, probably a lot.
It did.
The study looked at 253 species, including insects, reptiles and birds, living in sand dunes across 20 international beaches, and it looked at those and then the damage that four-wheel drives do, apparently.
Really?
Yeah, I haven't had a look at the actual article. This is just from like the actual paper, but yeah.
Okay. Well, look, any greenies that are listening now, you're probably not going to like what I'm going to say, but that sounds cherry-picked and that doesn't sound right. I do understand like overpopulation is going to put a lot of stress on places, and usually with, tag-along tours and clubs that head out, usually you are limited to 12 cars on the, that's like the four-wheel drive etiquette. Limited to 12 cars, because once 12 cars go through a certain area, one after the other, particularly if there's been a bit of rain or if it's very sensitive, the area that they're driving through, then you'll often see a bit of damage. But also, how many of these people don't lower their tyres and like, I question the data that they're going off. I would really question that data. It just sounds like a load of shit. And are we going to worry about ants and all kinds of stuff like that too? Like, I mean, really?
The one thing I struggle with, I get where they're coming from, like driving cars on beaches, it's not a natural thing. But,
why is it not natural?
Well, like when the beach was, there's been beaches long before there were cars, kind of thing. You know what I mean? All I'm saying is it's weird to drive on a beach. We made roads for that. Like and then there's going to be people that say that's not right either, probably. But
yeah, but what about the road? The road that's put there.
That's what I mean. Like
that's permanent tarmac.
Yeah, that's cut down a lot of. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like
trees to the side all removed.
It's the same thing. But for me, like when I look at, because I'm kind of on your side. Like when you're in the bush, there's a track, and a lot of four-wheel drivers will stick to the track. There's not like people every day are forging new tracks through the bush or the beach, or it's like normally you're sticking to the one track that leads you there. There might be offshoots here and there, but it's not like every 10 metres there's a new track running off here, running off there, cutting through the bush. So I think if people can do the right thing, stick to the tracks, I don't know how you do it with the beach because you don't have to stick to the track as such, but there's
the beach is a bit
comes in and
different,
washes it. Like I don't know. I'm with you, but I just think I've seen a lot of the time. I think the issues that we've had and that have popped up on here is when it's there's just people like in South Australia, didn't they wanted to limit the number of tracks that people could
the
drive
York
on
Peninsula.
So it's an interesting one because a lot of the time people do the right thing. I think it's the minority that spoil it for the rest.
Yeah, it doesn't take many to just to wreck it, because everyone remembers the guy who did the bad thing.
Yeah.
No one really recognises the other 10 that did the right thing.
Yeah, that's absolutely.
You
Yeah.
know?
The 10 driving past doing the right thing, no one gives a damn about.
Yeah.
'Cause they're doing the right thing. The one
Yeah.
bloke that, and then that stands out, and then people think they need to action it.
Yeah.
When it's more just on that one person to join the rest of us, you know.
And the other thing, like when they do close some of these areas, the dickheads who are the problem, who still, who cause it in the first place, they're still the ones that are going in there anyway, regardless if you block it, do whatever you want. They'll drive through the bush, they'll drive over a bollard, whatever.
Yep.
They'll do whatever they can just to get in there again. But what happens then, you don't have everyone else who does the right thing, and there'll be a certain percentage out of those people who do the right thing who will actually go and clean up some of the stuff at least that these other people are left. Or there'll be clubs that look after certain areas, at least we do in WA. Track Care, they have divvied out certain areas to certain clubs, and they look after these areas. And they organise big cleanups, replacing signs, replacing old historical plaques, all kinds of stuff. So, yeah, I do get it though. Over there's probably too many. Like you see some of the stuff we've seen on social media. There's like the beach. There's like 3 rows of cars trying to exit that Rainbow Beach or W Island, and like I wouldn't even go to that particular beach myself just because of that, because I will head out to get away from crowds. I'm sure as shit not going to go where there's a whole bunch of crowds at the beach. I'd rather than hang around at home.
Yeah.
Yeah, couldn't agree with that more. It always comes down to do the right thing. Like people are doing the right thing, there's no problem. But as soon as people are doing the wrong thing, or some people do the wrong thing, then there's a problem. Common sense.
Yeah. It's interesting though, like the spokesperson for the University of the Sunshine Coast is, like they're saying, regardless of the amount of traffic, whether it's 1 or 200,
it doesn't matter.
The first few passes of a vehicle are the ones causing the most damage. So it's sort of like So
needs
they're pretty strong.
Needs to be more explained. Like it's I've seen sand tracks that have not changed over 20 years. They haven't changed. The only thing that does change are there are extra offshoots all of a sudden because people have been driving through the vegetation, things like that. So driving through the vegetation is the number one thing no one should do no matter what, because that's what alters things. Sand dunes that don't have any vegetation, you could literally drive them. If it's really windy, you would actually lose the tracks behind you.
Yeah.
There are no tracks there. So a lot of people think, I'll just follow the tracks back out. If it's really windy, you're not going to see the tracks. You can't.
Yeah, it changes shape.
You can't follow it. Yeah, all the time.
Yeah, it's an interesting one. It feels like there's going to be more and more of this as time goes on, isn't there?
Yeah.
That's just the sense I'm getting.
A lot. But like what we saw with the petitions and all that from Tony from GME, he started that big petition that went crazy. Four drive community and the outdoors community are going to fight back. So
yeah, they will for sure.
Hopefully.
I tried signing some of those petitions too, but because I'm in WA, it doesn't allow me.
Yeah,
really.
You have to put in your New South Wales address and
righto.
Yeah.
How about you wanted to join the fight, just couldn't?
I can't.
No, Ronnie, sit out for this one, mate. We're good over here.
No, but like because I saw a few people complaining about how many people had liked the post but had not, but there was less petitions than that. And it's because you have to be from that area to actually sign a petition.
Which makes sense.
Yeah, it's not like a national petition.
But anyway, Ultimate Four-Wheel Drive.
Let's get into it, eh? I'm excited, Ronnie. I'm excited there. Now,
do we get anything on the screen?
Yeah. Do I start reading first?
Start reading, and I'll bring them up.
Like a bit of a grand reveal.
I reckon we'll do a review.
All right. Ultimate Four-Wheel Drive this week. So Aidan Stevens has sent in his 2023 Toyota Land Cruiser VDJ 76. Now, Ronnie, spending budget. He's got everything on this car. Have a guess at what the spending budget would be.
Does it have the whole core conversion and everything?
It does. Yes.
Do you want to read out the list?
All right, so I'll come back. I'll come back to the spending budget. Purpose full-time touring for a lap of Australia. 3 things he loves. coil converted, so you've mentioned that. It's his dream car. 3 things that he doesn't like: how it drives on 35s. Never going to be perfect. Couple of things coming that he thinks will help. All right, I haven't read through it all. I've just seen the list. I'm going to go to the list.
Read out the
I'm
list
going to go
of
to the
mods.
list, then we can come back to what he's written for us. So his list of mods.
Should I bring up the photos now?
Nah.
All right. You tell me when you want me to bring the photo in, and I'll bring it in.
All right. Actually, yeah, because it's not going to have the... Yeah, no, it's not going to... Anyway, you just bring them up.
You're excited.
J-Max full coil conversion, 3.9 ton GVM upgrade. So pre-rego, so it's all sweet there. 4-inch lift, 35-inch Mickey Thompson tyres, J-Max rear diff, Airbag Man rear airbags, J-Max brake booster upgrade, Alpha shocks with in-cab digital controls, GME radio, 3.5-inch Torqued exhaust, Method race wheels, colour-coded Cruiser Company rear bar with the Jerry Holder wheel swing away, colour-coded off-road creative front bar, steady lights on the front, steady fog lights in it, Rhino backbone on top, Safari Air Max snorkel, overhead console, leather seats, solar shields are in there, armrests obviously, drifter rear drawer set up in the rear, 270 awning, sun visor, which I like the sun visor.
Rooftop tent.
Rooftop tent.
Yeah.
Did I miss that?
It's
Rooftop
just one
tent,
above it.
Yes. Thank you.
The formatting.
ARB bull bar and side rails, Spotty's light bar winch, center console, 12 volt setup, fridge in there, retro stripes on it, and plenty of other small little bits and pieces. And so basically that's the list. Then I'll get into the rest of it. With all of that,
It's not tuned yet, is it?
Not yet. I didn't
it
say
doesn't
that.
say that, but he's
Okay.
got a few things in the pipelines. But 76, 2023, 76. What do you think? With all of that on it, what do you reckon he's spent? He's got it here. He's told us.
Let's have a quick look at it.
Yeah, sorry, I forgot to show.
Jesus.
I had a picture in my mind. I could pretty much see that. I had this picture in my mind.
That is nice. Oh,
That is incredible.
spent a lot on that.
That is fucking beautiful.
I'm going to say we'll be getting close to 200, I reckon. It surely would be right up there. It'd be like 185.
185. That's you. Lock that in.
I don't know.
Yeah, no, that's good. That's a good answer. That's
right.
that's a great answer. $50.
What?
$50.
You won it.
He won it.
You lucky bastard. Good on you.
Aiden's won this car for $50. So he said, firstly, fellas, love the
No
pod and have been a
way.
long time listener. Started out as a big fan of Ronnie, and then he's grown over to us, which is great. So thank you, Aiden. And he said here, not another 70 series, like seriously, but he said this one has a cool story behind it. I know you'll be thinking it's peculiar that I put $50 in the budget section, which yes, I was.
Yep.
That's because yes, I paid $50 for the car. I won it on an Instagram raffle, crazily enough. It was one hell of an upgrade from my petrol 60 series I was doing up for a lap of Oz. So how's the timing?
Seriously.
Just unbelievable for Aiden. That's great. So it's his ultimate four-wheel drive. It's everything he's dreamed of since being a kid. I'm assuming that's why he entered the raffle. Solid axle front and rear, coils all round, remote res shocks, electronic adjustable suspension, V8 and a wagon. The car came with the suspension components already installed pre-rego, the J-Max 3.9 GVM upgrade and coil conversion, so it's legal nationwide. I've read through the mods,
Wow.
Yeah.
which is incredible.
It's a thing of beauty. So, anyone who's not watching the visuals, it's
You have to go and look at it.
Yeah.
You have to look at it. Yeah, it's
one of a kind.
It's
sort
like
of
the
thing.
Knight Rider version
Yeah.
with the Toyota racing colours
Yep.
on a black car of a 70 series.
And obviously planning his
Oh.
full-time lap.
Stop it.
It's unreal, isn't it? And he can't wait. So I don't know where Aiden's from, but
Let me guess, he doesn't like how it drives on 35s because it's not tuned.
Could be.
Because that thing will be pretty sluggish with all that weight on it.
Mine is on 35s, not tuned with like fair bit on the roof. I think
But
I've got 125, and it is a bit
Yeah,
slow.
But if you tuned it, you wouldn't know how slow it really is.
No.
You're just used to it.
you know,
Yeah.
it'd be good to get a bit of a just to see how high this thing, because look where the door sills are.
Yeah.
That is high.
That looks higher than 4 inches, hey?
That is such a cool car.
That's nice.
Oh, when he heads around WA ways, maybe let us know, Aiden.
It's taller than a lifted troopy.
That's a piece of work.
It'll look like mine soon.
Yeah.
Mine will look like that.
Yeah, it will, won't it?
$50.
$50 for that. How good. Now, I have a little muck around with those every now and then.
Hey, he's got the rooftop tent off there. Or has he?
Yeah, no, he does.
Yes, he does. Yeah.
I want to see like a shot without the rooftop tent.
So if you're not looking at this car, literally picture a 76 series, a black 76 series with the decal on the side with every single modification you can think of, and all the things you can't see, think of them too. This car's got it on it, and it is an absolute weapon.
There's only one thing that could make that car better. It's like a matte black PPF on top of everything.
Yeah, you reckon?
Yeah, that will look really, really awesome.
I've also noticed one thing: the mirrors haven't been upgraded. Now, it might be fine on the 76.
That's kind of what, yeah.
I have heard on the 76. I've got a mate with one as well who said that he doesn't find them too bad because mine are terrible because of the tray. I can't really see past them.
Yeah.
But yeah, and these don't stick out as far as mine do either. But yeah, there you go. The mirrors are maybe one thing, but it kind of looks cool with those mirrors on. It just gives a bit of contrast between the black. Like,
I agree.
have a little chrome sort of finish on the side. That is honestly that is an awesome car.
That is a beautiful car.
Yeah.
That is an awesome car.
I'm just picturing it backlit on a beach.
Mate, that thing is nuts.
Yeah.
And people are going to hate us because it's Toyota and we're going Toyota crazy, but this is unbelievable. Oh, I love it.
Sometimes you just got to stick with what works.
Seriously.
Yeah, that's
I'm
impressive.
just going to keep my mouth shut.
That's impressive.
God, it looks good.
That is impressive.
Yes.
Aiden, you've done well there for $50. Done very, very well.
100%, man.
And good on him. Using it the right way too. Lap of Oz coming up.
I would drive the shit out of that.
All those Instagram raffles, I've seen them and I've just been like, nah, there's no way anyone actually wins out of this shit.
That's the thing though. You got to be in it to win it. Like, I wouldn't go crazy with them because you'll end up spending a lot of money, but you got to be in it to win it sometimes.
I tried one of them and I regret doing it because I constantly get the spam mail now.
Oh, yeah.
Constant.
Yeah.
And it's not just from that. It's since I did that one time, I'm getting it from all different kinds of things.
That spam email would be all sweet if you got one of those out of it.
Yeah, you'd be all fine with it.
I'd be happy to delete all that
Mate,
spam
delete
emails.
it. Yeah, no worries.
But anyway, well done, Aiden. Thanks for sending it in. And let us know when you're swinging around Perth ways.
Or if you're from Perth.
Yeah, because I wouldn't
Well, what's the
mind,
plate say?
It says Victoria. But that's maybe where it was raffled.
Ah.
But anyway, what a car.
Nice. It's good to hear from a winner, so people do actually win them. That's good.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, I left a little bit out here actually. So he's planned to keep adding until his inner child is satisfied and build the ultimate four-wheel drive photography rig. So you blokes might be... Aiden's right up your alley.
Hey, mate, you've got a camera.
I got a camera. I don't use it. But anyway, yeah, there you go. He's setting up photography rig.
The ultimate photography rig.
So I'm going to say that they're his own photos.
What I'll say is just be careful with making specific draws for specific things because you'll change what you're shooting with.
You could make a draw and use like foam and just cut out outline of your camera, and that way you can just change it all the time with whatever foam paneling you're using.
The foam is ridiculously expensive, hey?
Yeah, you got to look for something that's cheap.
I bought some from Clark Rubber because I bought a Pelican case.
Yeah.
And it was supposed to come with foam, but it didn't come with foam. And I can't be bothered dealing with all this shit because I bought it online. It's just a nightmare. So I went to buy foam. I mean, it cost about half the price of the case itself.
Far out. That's nuts. Okay. Well, I have no suggestions other than that. Get a pillow.
Get a pillow.
Get a pillow.
What, a ton of feathers?
Yeah, a ton of feathers. Put them in the back. Compressed feathers.
You have to upgrade your GVM though. All right, thanks, Aiden. Let's move on quickly, Ronnie. I need to ask you, because I haven't asked you in a little while, have you got big trips coming up. I know there are a few planned this year. Are any of them soon?
Oh yeah, I better let you guys know about that. I'm heading to taking the kids to the Pilbara soon.
That's right.
Yeah.
I remember you saying that. You did mentioned it a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, so 2 weeks from now, I think.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Purpose of the trip?
So purpose for the trip, Channel 7 and taking both my girls up there as well and get some more stuff done with the 76.
Yep.
So that should be pretty cool. So I will be getting episodes myself out of this, which is great. And it should be good. So get to take the 76 through some of the areas I've been to before and a few I haven't been to before as well.
Nice.
So it should be good. I mean, hopefully we get to go up Mount Meharry again. That'll be cool with the 76.
Yeah. That you were saying that it's not a big production with when the Channel 7 show goes out.
It's a big production, but it's not like a whole team.
Yeah, so it's all brought
it's
together.
a team, but yeah.
Yeah, in the end. But you will travel with the girls and the cameraman.
So Chris will bring Jacob. So so it'll be in the bloopy. It'll be 2 of them, and it'll be 3 of us.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
And that's the crew for the Channel 7, your trip, your content for that show. Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. It's actually hard to find people who can tolerate heading out to the bush, because if you don't like going out to the bush, you don't like camping, you don't like not having a shower for a day or 2 sometimes. What's the most I've done? Probably 8 days. Had an ocean bath though, day 7.
That'll do.
It's it's actually hard to find, and you got to find people, particularly on the long trips that you get along with. Because if you don't gel, and it doesn't mean that it's a bad thing. It's just if you don't gel, you don't gel.
Yep.
So that's another thing. Some people want to constantly stop. Some people don't like pressure time and all this. So you really got to it's when it comes to filming these trips, there's like, we got to be here, we got to be there, we got to be there. And that's exactly how I would like to do the trip anyway.
Yeah.
So for me, it's great. But we are having a down day though, because I'm bringing the girls.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. Spend some time with the girls. Relaxing, that's good.
What about you? You got anything planned, Duggo?
No.
I know you got footy and stuff.
No.
When did you buy?
Ages away.
Nothing.
Nah, nothing. Unfortunately, like more work to the car before I go away. I'm going to have to duck away midweek at some stage.
You have to duck away before you do too much short.
I know. Yeah, I know. It's just the thing. I don't want to wait for that. I don't want to wait to get stuff done, but then I really just want to take it out basic.
So what's happening next?
So I need the snorkel. Mirrors are still to go on. So I've been to ARB, so the bars are on. The steps.
Yeah, I saw that when I drove past it around the corner.
And the front bar, which I'm loving. I reckon it looks
Sort of dog box.
Dog box, that's on. And then, we just need to get... I've got a few things coming up next week. Engine upgrades. Yeah.
Yeah. The funny thing with the Sandy Torp, that's one of the cars that looks really good with the black and the Sandy Torp.
Yeah.
If you colour coded it, it'd be too much sandy.
Yeah. And I've seen some that still look all right, but there's, they've got big black tyres on it that sort of weigh it up, balance it out a little bit. But I do like the black and sandy working all the way down the car.
Yeah, it goes well.
Yeah.
Yeah, because when you had the dog box on, I was like, that's cool.
Yeah. I tell you what, though, geez, I need some new shoes on it. Just a little, especially with the bar, with the scrubbies on there, like that. It's just so, they swallow the tyres. So it honestly looks like it's on skates.
We'll hit up Tyrepower, mate. We'll get you some new shoes.
Yeah, so I need it.
What about a bloopy, though?
I know. Does Chris have scrub bars?
No, he doesn't, but the tyre seat is
Still
so far in the guard.
Yeah.
It's like it's missed leg day,
I won't be missing leg day on the tyres. Don't worry about that.
Well, so far you have.
I have. Young though. It's only a baby. Let's go to around the fire pit, Jay Dolan.
Around the fire pit?
Yes, please. Thanks, Morton.
Ronnie, when do you have to leave, mate?
Well, my parking ends in 2 minutes.
Great. Let's be quick.
G'day, fellas. Terry here. Just wanted to make contact on the back of Duggo saying he likes the appearance of the Kia Tasman. I thought that was a bit odd. I've never heard those words coming out of anyone's mouth. In fact, when he said it, I threw up in my mouth a little bit. So I just wanted to reach out and see if you're okay, Duggo. Are you okay, mate? And another thing, while I got you, I just wanted to say I appreciate Ronnie calling out the wank factor in the Stono snorkel.
Oh, no.
No.
I think it's brilliant that he's calling out wank factor because there's not many content creators that do. Those Stono snorkels are bad news, I tell you. I've seen many of them going.
Is this you, Ronnie?
Cars going to drink, and a heap of water goes up the windscreen and straight down the gullet of the Stono. They're bad news. Hey, I've seen it on YouTube as well. Those All for Adventure guys sent a D-Max into the drink and flooded it, all because of a Stono snorkel. You can see it's years of design have gone into the safaris and whatnot. There's a reason why they're like they are. But yeah, keep calling out the wank factor, Ronnie. I love it. Love the podcast, fellas, and avoid the Stono snorkels. Terry's tough dog tip of the week.
Oh,
Good on you, lads.
thanks, Terry. Duggo?
Who's Terry?
I don't know. That's Terry.
Is that Terry?
it's Terry.
Terry's a real
That's
character.
Terry. Terry's a real man.
He's going to hate me then.
Yeah, he's
I
had-
said I like the Key Tasman, and I'm getting a Stano snorkel.
I know.
He's got a point.
He's had a rip in you.
I know. I know.
But you're colouring yours black, yeah? Tell me that.
Yeah, I am. Yeah.
Hey, don't listen, mate. Don't
Well,
listen.
I'm probably going to try and get a ram head on it.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Don't do that.
I don't know.
Don't do that.
I don't know.
That's a good idea.
Don't
Terry's
do
in
that.
my head.
I would.
He's living rent free in my
It's
head.
pretty easy to get in your head, mate.
But Terry, I'm going to
Someone
stand
said
by.
Ineos is a good car, and you went, "Oh,
I'm going to
fuck,
stand
I should
by
buy the Ineos."
the Kia Tasman. I don't mind the shape.
As long as you don't get
No,
one of those.
you're wrong about that.
I'll put a
Aerial-
Stano on a Kia Tasman.
Oh my God. Yeah, then I think I'll be throwing up in my mouth too.
Ronnie leaves the show.
If just don't get one of those, aerials with the freaking lights in.
Why not, mate? I was going to get a pink one.
That would look good on the Sandy car.
G'day, fellas. Looking for some advice on a suspension upgrade for my 2024 dual cab Hilux. It's got a stock Toyota alloy tray on the back with a canvas canopy, so pretty light at the back. Just want a standard 2-inch lift. Don't do anything extreme off-road. Just tow a 5-metre tinny. Live up in Karratha, so quite a fair bit of corrugations and that. So looking for something fairly reasonable quality, but also doesn't need to be extreme. I was looking at the Tough Dog GVM upgrade and just not sure between brands. But yeah, any tips on brands to look out for and recommendations on leaf spring rating at the back would be great. I'm undecided between 300 and 500 constant load. But yeah, thanks a lot, guys. Appreciate it. Cheers.
Yeah, that's a good question. So lots of corrugations, not doing anything heavy duty, towing a
5-metre tinny.
5-metre tinny, so it shouldn't be too heavy. I would just go for 300 constant load because then it's not too stiff. If it's too stiff and you got corrugations as well, it's just going to send like those vibrations through like no tomorrow. You'll probably lose your teeth fillings if you got mercury one still. All mine are falling out.
Bloody hell.
Yeah. As far as brands go, I think go for what you can afford, but don't go for the real cheap. If you can, try and get something with an upper control arm, because that's just going to assist you if you want to run slightly bigger tyres. And don't go 33s with a Hilux. I mean, you don't have to listen to my advice, but yeah, if I was you, I wouldn't go 33s on a Hilux. I was actually looking back at some videos the other day of my Hilux modification regrets, and I remember like it just brought me back to there. It was like, yeah, I was prepared to go back to 32s to try that.
So you'd say 32s over 33s?
100% for a Hilux.
That's the biggest you'd go?
That's the biggest I'd go, yeah.
Yeah, sweet.
Yeah.
All right, last one.
Yep.
Hi, I'm Shane from Perth. Long time listener, first caller. Just seeing a few high-ace four-wheel drives driving around. I'm not sure if they're ex-mining vehicles or whatever. Have you seen one in person, and what's the market on those guys? Thanks.
Jono.
Yeah.
Jono.
Yeah, I was thinking straight about Jono too. Jono has
Oh, the Troopy.
built a pretty epic one. Like, Jono, don't get a big head about this, but your build is fucking pretty epic. And comparing it to a Troopy, I think what Jono's got out of that car is pretty epic. There's more room in it. There's more space. It's more functional because it's more sort of square, even though Troopy's freaking square. But they're wider as well, I'd assume. Yeah, they must be wider. The back door completely opens up. So I don't know what the market is though, Duggo. What do you reckon?
Yeah, no, I wouldn't know either. But are they still?
I've got from
They're
40 to 70, depending on year, model, and all that kind
It's
of
my
stuff.
brother's dream car. I know that. To
So-
do one up.
It's
35 to 70 probably.
Are they the same engine as a Hilux still?
I think
'Cause they used to have the 3 litre, like
in Japan you get that engine,
right.
but the ones we get here now, I could be totally wrong, but I know the one that Jono's got is 2.7 litre petrol. But you can pair the transfer case of a Prado with it,
Okay.
like the 150 Prado, I believe, which means that you can then get low range because they're four-wheel drive, but they're not low range. There is this particular model, a new one, you can get low range in, and I think that one might actually have the 2.8, but
Yeah, okay.
you're talking a lot of money for a brand new one
Yep.
Yeah, you can get the 2.8 litre 4-cylinder turbo diesel.
with low range.
Haven't got that one. But yeah, you get the 2.7 or the 3.4 litre petrol, 2.4 or 3 litre diesel. I think they're both with low range, yeah.
Yeah, so they're like the newer ones, hey?
Yeah.
They're like released last year or something, a year before maybe at the earliest. Yeah. So depending on what you're doing, I think it's probably a bloody good option.
They get good power, good torque.
Yeah,
Good car.
Like I wouldn't personally use one for the places that I would sort of take it to. However, given that I have other options, I could definitely put one to use for sure because it would just be like heading off the beaten track, doing a bit of full driving. I mean, if you can get one that's got a low range and the 2.8, then you got a low down torque. Petrol, well, you probably just find yourself in low range a bit more often to get yourself out of certain scenarios, but you'd be able to go to 90% of places in Australia, no?
I think especially on the eastern states that the vans are much more popular. Like around Victoria, because you can't really go. You can full drive through the high country and all that, but if you're down via the coast, that's vans everywhere. 'Cause
Yeah.
you can't. There's no off roading. It's not. You can. There's a little bit of stuff around, obviously, but you're not driving on beaches and all of that. So
Van life.
it's a van life. All the campings in caravan parks or parks in
Only
all along-
vans.
Only vans.
I don't know if it's the same
Wow.
here, but there used to be a lot of wicked campers. You know the campers, wicked
Yeah,
camper vans,
yeah.
and they've got
I
like
don't see them
different
much
tags and
anymore.
shit. Yeah, don't see them much anymore.
But I like
a
the
lot of
Hiace.
them in Exmouth,
Yeah. Yep.
up that area, Kimberley and all that. You see
Yeah.
a lot.
You can get
Backpackers.
there's so many different variations of the Hiace as well.
Yeah.
Something to suit everyone, but I like them. The market for them, yeah, Jaden, you're pretty spot on.
Thank you, mate.
For a later model one, sort of, yeah.
I've learnt my
30
car
to
sales
70.
technique from you, mate. So it's all in the teacher.
Yep.
Anyway, Ronnie, we should get you out of here, mate.
Ronnie, run
I'm going to run.
Yeah, you go, mate. We'll wrap it up.
right now.
Yeah.
Oh, sweet as.
Oh, I mean, you can keep going if you want. Ronnie's
I
got
was
to go.
like, do we have something else to talk
Do you want
about?
to just keep going?
Yeah, we'll just may as well.
Okay,
I've
go
got
on,
heaps
mate.
of time. No, thanks, Ronnie. Just be quiet on your way out. Thanks, mate. The Four Drive
Just
podcast.
got a podcast going on here, mate.
We're just busy.
Yeah, come on, mate.
Four Drive podcast powered by Tyrepower. Thanks for joining us again, Southern Riverband. Let it ride to see us out. Instagram, Four Drive podcast. Check that out. BackChat YouTube. Patreon.com/4 Drive podcast.
Oh, look at the sunnies on
Ronnie
him.
said at the start, the 4drivepodcast.com.au. Get across there, merch, voice messages, and if you can beat the 76 Ultimate 4-wheel drive, I'll pay you $50.
$25 ticket.